Hello everyone, come on into the garden. Today I want to talk about this trellis here, this A-frame or ladder trellis. Titan wants to talk about it too. But first go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you don't miss any great content this season. And if you enjoyed this video, if you could tap that like button, we'd appreciate that too. Okay, so recently we posted about another trellis, a cucumber trellis. And it's a pretty easy project, about 2 hours, and I specifically had Evan build it for me so I could put it in my raised beds. You can of course use it in ground or raised bed. If you haven't seen that video, go to the Kellogg Garden channel and check it out. But I told you we bought a bunch of redwood. We bought 2x2 pieces, 8 feet long, and I had Evan stock up. It's a good price. The cedar was a bit more expensive, so this was really good for us. We're not digging yet, Titan. So I built a few trellises, and this is one of them, or really Evan built these trellises. So for that one, I wanted something that would go in a raised bed. For this one, I wanted it to go over some of my containers. I have a lot of containers this season because we'll be moving this summer. So I've got these 30-gallon fabric pots, I've got whiskey barrels, I've got all sorts of containers, and going vertical with your containers is a great way to be able to grow more in a smaller space. So for this project, we used 4 pieces of the 2x2 redwood, cut them to 6 feet, they're 6 feet long, and then for the rungs, these are 2 feet long, but I didn't want them to be really thick, so Evan cut them in half for lengthwise. He ripped them, is what he said. He ripped them, so one piece became 2. Now, with 4 pieces of the 8-foot 2x2, you can get 4 rungs. We have a 5th one because we had a little left over from another project. And then Evan used the carriage bolts. They're 3/8-inch carriage bolts. I absolutely am in love with carriage bolts now. For the top, it just makes everything so easy to move and extend. And I could even extend it, honestly, all the way out and put another one on the other side if I wanted to. So have Evan make one more of these for me, and then I could have 3 and grow that way. I'm always finding projects for Evan, by the way, and I love things that I can move around and change and use all throughout my garden. So this is phenomenal. I would say that you'd probably want to protect it a little bit, so you can use some of the raw linseed oil to coat it and protect it. It's going to get a little beat up. Now in the wind, it can get knocked over. So if that's an issue for you, you might want to dig it down a little bit. Or I have some little, I used to be a scuba instructor, so I have some scuba weights that I secured to the bottom, and I put those on here. I absolutely love this. The only downside would be because you're using raw lumber, sometimes when I'm moving it on the pavers, it can chip off the bottom, and you have to watch out for splinters because this is raw. So if you're touching it a lot or moving it a lot, you might want to use gloves or something so you don't get splinters. But I love it. It's going to work out great in this garden, and I think it looks good too. So now I'll put all of the material and the tools that Evan used. This one took him, again, a couple of hours just because we had to figure out a few things like crossing these, how we put these on, your rungs on, but you can see all of that. At the end of the video, we'll have that for you so you can see Evan's process. If you build this, I'd love to hear about it. I'd love to see it. You could tag Kellogg on one of the social media channels or leave a comment down below and we'll go check it out. And I would love to hear what you're growing on your trellises this season and how you're using them. I appreciate you joining me again, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Happy gardening.